Mpumalanga Tourism MEC Pat Ngomane has announced that the provincial government has identified 3 nature reserves to be used as quarantine sites should there be a need. Our reporter Tumelo Machogo spoke to the MEC. Watch.
Mpumalanga provincial government has set aside 5 nature reserves to actually house people that might need to be taken here for quarantine if the disease, if this virus rather, actually spread throughout the country and throughout this province. You'd remember that the province currently has over 10 people, about 14 people have been confirmed to have the virus in the province. But let's talk more to the MEC of Economic Development in the province, Mr. Pat Ngomane. Ndade, why did your department decide to actually help out in this fight against this coronavirus?
Thank you for the opportunity. As a province, specifically this department, we thought it will be very important that we play a role, and you will understand that we a player in economic development and tourism, and these facilities are used for tourists in the province, and we decided to work hand in gloves with Department of Health nationally, that we contribute in the fight of this pandemic. Hence, we identify these areas which are going to be used if the diseases of coronavirus continues in the country and in the province.
We know that there are about 5 of these places. How many people can it actually house? And are you guys going to be working with the Department of Health to actually make sure that if they need to bring machines to these places, it can be easily be brought to these places, and then doctors can also come into these places? How many people can it actually house?
It can house 675, and we definitely show that working hand in gloves with the Department of Health, each and every house is going to be given a nurse. Immediately we have people to come here. We are going to be given facilities which are going to assist our people who are going to be housed here.
We've seen now the number have been surging every day. The numbers go up every single day. We know that people who live in rural areas, they're mostly vulnerable. People who live in places such as townships, they're also vulnerable because some of them, they live in small houses and they might catch this disease, and then they would need to come here. But what is the advice that you guys are giving to these communities, especially when it comes to testing, to make sure that they don't spread this disease across this province?
We are going to work with the leaders of these communities. That is where we think we need to get to win the fight, because it won't help to provide these facilities if we are not working hand in gloves with the communities. The awareness campaign, education is going to continue up until each and every one in these communities understands that there's a need to be working together in the fight of this particular pandemic disease. It's not a responsibility of one person. All of us, we are going to be in this fight up until even the issue of social distance, even here, we consider that in a house, the issue of social distance is going to be highly adhered to. But the most important thing is the issue of awareness campaign in the fight of this particular disease.
Talking about awareness campaign, is this awareness campaign goes to the communities? Because some of these communities, they will say, we are so close to this park and these people are going to be at a park near us, and then we're not sure if this virus can actually come to our communities, because they don't want people that might have this kind of virus closer to their households, closer to their community. What is the message that you guys are going to be telling these communities? Because this is what we need to tell them, the importance of this message that you guys are talking about, the awareness campaign that you talk about. But what are you guys going to be talking to these communities? Because some of these people, they need to be educated about how does the virus actually spread.
Yes, it's true that in each and every area where we identified an area like this one, we are going to get very close to the community leaders, talk with ward councillors, all stakeholders which we think are very important in playing a role in that particular area. We are going to we advised our staff to get into that particular area, because we cannot fight this pandemic disease alone. We want to involve them in order for them to continue spreading this awareness into the community where they live, to understand that our responsibility, the responsibility of us identifying this is not only for the department. All of us, we need to play a role, and we want to believe everybody is going to understand that all of us, we need to play a role.
I know this is not part of your department, but just talk to me about when is the mass testing of people going to happen? Especially, we know that people in rural areas, they want to get tested, but they don't have money because this is quite expensive. But when is the mass testing is going to happen here in the province in Mpumalanga?
According to the information I'm getting and working very close with my colleagues, by Monday, we are going to identify an area, because it's very much important to identify an area which is now a problem, and we are going to know exactly where are we going to go and have this massive testing. On Monday, that thing is going to start, and the information is going to come to you as to where are we going to target and make that thing of mass testing. All of us, including yourself, you must also test, because that is where we need to know. We are going to know exactly how many people are infected, where are we going to need help as government, and definitely the interest of our people outside there. All majority of our people, they need that particular service. So as from next week, Monday, definitely you're going to know, and our people are going to know as to where are we going to start.
Ndate, thank you so much. That was Ndate Pet Ngomane, is the MEC of Economic Development here in Mpumalanga. This nature reserve that actually been selected by the government to actually house house people that might need to be quarantined. That actually they've got animals, so people, they will be able to see the serenity of these places. They'll be able not only to be like we are in a farm or we are in a place where we are being isolated, but they'll be able to see nature. They'll be able to be very, very close to nature. Back to you.
All right, Tumelo, thank you very much.